Donald Trump is having a catastrophic Friday as his old schemes to manipulate the market are backfiring. So, new scheme alert, Donald Trump frantically posting that he did a new deal, everybody. He won't tell you who the new deal is with or how he intends to enforce it. But folks, he's done an imaginary deal with himself on Friday, as it's clear the catastrophic forces that he has unleashed on our economy are absolutely being felt by most Americans. He posts the following: "Today, I concluded a deal to substantially lower the price of ground beef for working American families. As everyone knows, under President Biden, beef prices soared at their fastest rate, and the American beef herd fell to its smallest size in modern history." Pause right there. We are, 18, 19 months into this horrific Trump regime, and every post is like, and Biden did it. It's all Biden's fault. Dude, you're in charge right now. As we work to rebuild this herd and help our ranchers for the next 90 days, is this another 90 deals in 90 days? Let's find out. For the next 90 days, the United States will allow up to 300,000 metric tons of product for ground beef to be imported with no out-of-quota tariff. Make America great again. Bring in that foreign beef. Let's help our own ranchers buy. What did you just say? We have a commitment that this beef will be sold at 25% below current market prices. There's a commitment. There's a construct and a framework of a deal, everybody. This deal will reduce prices for Americans while giving space for our great American beef herd to grow again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You know, I'm wondering how this is going to work, because with the price of diesel at record highs, that's going to impact freight. That's going to impact agriculture. That's going to impact the price of everything. Let's just take a look at this handy dandy chart there, Donald. Back in August 2024, was this you? Under my administration, we'll be slashing energy and electricity prices by half within 12 months, at a maximum 18 months. Okay. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. Okay. During every single day of the administration, I will very simply put America first. That was January 2025. Price increases since the start of Donald Trump's catastrophic war in Iran. This is just from this time period alone. And it went up before that as well. The price of wheat is up 16%, palm oil up 23%, certain types of phosphates 26%, Brent crude 29%, WTI crude 30%, cotton 34%, rice 37%, gasoline 38%, diesel up 48%, jet fuel 56%, heating oil 73%, European natural gas 104%, sulfur 137%. But folks, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who yesterday said, I don't know why these diesel prices and gas prices are going so high. What's a crack spread, everybody? Look at him. First off, it looks like he's the Men in Black dude who went into somebody else's body and there's an alien in there. I mean, do you remember that scene? Congratulations, Melania Trump, he's saying this morning, because something regarding IndyCar partnerships and fostering the future is written on an IndyCar for the Grand Prix race in Washington, D.C., and Americans could not give a crap about this because we are feeling the impacts of your disastrous policies. Oh, is there a new scheme? New scheme alert this morning as well, everybody. The Trump regime is authorizing an early shift to the sale of wintertime gasoline blends. Its latest move to blunt, and folks, they're not panicking at all. Don't you worry. This is not panic. This is business as usual. Yes, there was an emergency intervention in the end 2 weeks ago. Yes, there was an emergency bond buyback scheme earlier this week, which failed. But folks, no panic here at all. Yes, Donald Trump's making up fake deals, which you're going to tell every retailer this must be sold to the consumer for 25% less than what it would otherwise be sold at. Oh, and y'all are the ones out there saying central government planning of prices, and you're out there screaming about the communist boogeyman? Oh, okay. Here's more about this new scheme as well. The EPA announced Thursday it was relaxing normal summertime gasoline requirements. The shift, which enables the use of dirtier burning wintertime fuel blend, typically happens in mid-September, but starting September 1, the waiver allows the sale of gasoline blended with 10% ethanol that evaporates faster than fuel typically sold during the summer. I wonder why the Environment Protection Agency would have a policy like that. Could it be for environment protection? Oh yeah, the Trump regime doesn't give a crap about that. They want data centers everywhere. They love polluting. If they could get their hands on that money quicker for the oligarchs while the American people suffer, that's what this is all about. The cope was real on state regime media, which calls itself Fox this morning, though. You had Brian Kilmeade, neocon warmonger, saying, Donald, your legacy before the midterm can be cemented. You just got to invade Iran. You got to escalate even more. This is what they were pushing on regime media this morning as they get extra desperate because Donald Trump's economic D-Day against Iran not exactly working out. Here, play this clip.
If they manage to, the people rise up, and if this thing goes our direction, no one's factoring it just a win in Iran. If you could turn Iran's stalemate into a victory for the only president to ever take them on, that would be a momentum that nobody could foresee for the midterms.
Yeah, that would be incredible. So there's news out of Seattle.
And why might economic D-Day not be working out? Because, well, it relies on China, who's the biggest partner with Iran. Now, all of a sudden, after the U.S. has spent years attacking China as the Trump regime talks about decoupling and we're going to make China pay, now Donald Trump begs Xi Jinping, please, Xi, we need your help with Iran right now. And Xi Jinping's like, our ally is Iran, not you. Do you know how this thing works, Donald? We know that you like to attack your alliances, but here we've got the BRICS bloc and we've got our allies. And again, I did a video this morning you saw about China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs just whacking Donald Trump. Well, here's what they said again just a few hours ago. This was in addition to what I reported on earlier this morning. China opposes unilateral sanctions that lack the basis in international law and UN Security Council mandate. Military force and pressure tactics will only lead to escalation. That serves no one's interest. We call on the parties to act responsively and solve disputes through dialogue and negotiations. In other words, no, Donald, we're not going to help you. The Wall Street Journal's Yaroslav Trofimov wrote the following essay. Allies used to worry whether America would. Now friends and foes wonder whether America can. America's diminished capability after this catastrophic war in Iran, reshaping the landscape throughout the world. We're seeing a new security umbrella form in the Middle East, right? The Mecca Pact, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. Israel's getting very nervous about that. Israel under Netanyahu continues the genocide in Gaza, the slaughter in Lebanon. They bombed Syria the other day because Syria was building an airport near Turkey. And Netanyahu said the following. Erdogan, president of Turkey, anti-Semitic dictator, massacred Kurds, harbors Hamas terrorists, occupies half of Cyprus, and jails a record number of journalists and politicians who oppose him. He now seeks to extend his aggression against Israel into Syria. Israel will not tolerate it. Erdogan's pathetic attempt to intimidate the leaders and soldiers of Israel, the only true democracy in the Middle East, will go nowhere. Meanwhile, Syria's minister Foreign Affairs, says Israel is seeking not to give space to Syria to have stability in the country or to rebuild our country of Syria. We want to reconstruct the country. We want the stability of Syria and the region. We don't want to go to war with Israel, and we want Israel to stop its aggression in Syria. Also, Syria's foreign minister does not rule out joining the Mecca Pact with Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan. We're seeing a whole new security umbrella form in the region. But what are they talking about on state regime media Fox? They're saying that right now what Donald Trump did with America 250 was delivering on his greatest promise. Don't we all feel great right now? Don't you all feel great right now as the average diesel prices are up $2 a gallon versus a year ago in over 11 states? Don't you feel great right now as the national average price of gasoline inches up to $4.11 a gallon on Friday morning, while diesel is now at $5.55? Or 25 cents from matching its all-time record, or $5.82 a gallon. How about, does that make us feel great? Here is the Trump regime's spokesperson, Monica Crowley, saying this is the greatest. Here, play this clip.
Well, good morning, Stuart. You know, President Trump promised that this year would be the greatest and most momentous celebration for our history, for our country and the history of America. And that's exactly what he's delivered over the past year.
Okay. So you know they got to go and attack Biden more and more this morning. That's all they got. You have the failure of a senator. Both senators in Pennsylvania are actually terrible. But MAGA Republican failure, Senator McCormick, he's got to blame Biden. Let's play this clip.
How would you reassure voters that Republicans are working to help Americans' wallets, not just with more jobs and growth opportunities, but also on food costs, gas prices, the whole kitchen table set?
Well, I think the starting point is, listen, that there is no doubt that the American people, working families, are much better off under the Trump administration, the President Trump's leadership, than they were under the Biden administration. If you look at,
but folks, there is one thing that is going up this morning. Bitcoin surging above $79,000 now, up 30% in 4 days. Crypto markets have now added $450 billion in market cap since Monday. I wonder what happened over the past 4 days. Would it be conspiratorial for me to say that the crypto bros were all in the White House together exactly 4 days ago? Could this have been something that they were planning while they were in the White House with Donald Trump? I do remember Donald Trump saying that his male models were in the Oval Office, the Winkelovs and all these other crypto bros. I don't know, but it is quite the coincidence that all of a sudden the crypto Bitcoin bros were there, and then pop, all of a sudden it goes up again while all these other economic indicators are crashing and the American people are suffering. Do you see what's happening before your eyes? But Donald Trump did seem to be attracted to the Winklevoss brothers, or whatever their name is. Let's play this clip right here.
Or if anybody else of this very distinguished, would somebody like to say something? My male models who happen to be genius. They're brilliant and they look good, right? But anybody, would you like to say something? Go ahead, please.
Just want to thank you, Mr. President, for all of your leadership. America should lead.
And then finally, that brings me to Joe Gruters, the RNC chair. He was asked before on News Nation, you know, the American people are pretty pissed right now. Most Americans disapprove of this horrific economy. What say you? What say you? You want to make a prediction about what say him? The head of the RNC? Oh, it was Biden. We have to deal with the Biden catastrophe. Watch for yourself. Let's play it.
Have you, sir? So the economy, it's the biggest factor. You know this when it comes to elections. People vote with their pocketbooks, and about 61% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of the economy. Republicans have had the White House, the Senate for 18 months now. How do you convince people that you're the right choice to make things like gas and groceries cheaper and not the Dems?
And that's why we're doing things like the midterm convention, because we got to get the truth out to the American people. You know, the president's still dealing with the Biden issues that were left over under the disastrous 4 years that they ruled.
How utterly freaking pathetic. How utterly freaking pathetic. Do me a favor. If you haven't pre-ordered WTF America, the book I wrote with my brothers, please pre-order it right now. It's available for pre-order. We'll put a link in the description, or you could search WTF America on Google. Look forward to that book being released. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe here. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.